At this point, we have this table containing unemployment data, and we've got this file that basically contains outlines of countries and some other information as well. But ArcMap doesn't really know how to connect the two, so our next task is to associate this with this. And we're going to achieve this using Arc Toolbox. So let's go over to the left-hand margin here where we have this Arc Toolbox icon. I'm going to click on that. Then within that, I'm going to choose Data Management Tools. So I'm going to expand this. And within that, I'm going to expand this Layer and Tables views over here. And I'm going to choose the tool called Make Query Table, which is right here. So I double-clicked on that. That brings that up. And so for this, once again, we got our description of what this query does that appears on the right-hand side here. That's standard for every tool in the toolbox. So we need to designate our input tables. So our first input table is going to be unemployment data, and our second is going to be countries. Now we choose which fields from these tables or files we want to include. And just to give ourselves complete flexibility, I'm going to select all of them. So I'm just going to choose Select All. So that should grab everything. And then we need to enter an expression here that provides a guideline for what the basis is going to be for connecting these two. So I've clicked in here. Over here I click on the SQL tool, and I want to connect these on the basis of the name field in the countries file being equal to, so I click on equal, and I want that to be equal to the unemployment file's country. So countries.name equals unemployment data.country, and I click OK. And having established that, I then go down here. I go down here where it says Key Fields Optional, because I do want to have a key field. And for my key field, I choose the unemployment data object ID. I check on that, and I click OK. And we should be getting our little notification, hopefully indicating that, all right, there we go, green check, make query table successful. So we've achieved what we wanted to achieve here, and there it is in our table of contents is our query table. Now, when I created this query table, I opted to use the key field from the unemployment data as my key field for the query table. And I just wanted to briefly explain why I did that. Both the countries and the unemployment data files have their own key fields. However, in the unemployment data, and let me just quickly open this up, you'll note that I have multiple entries for each country, whereas in the countries file, there's only one entry per country. If I use the key field from the countries table, therefore, I only would have gotten one line's worth of data for each country, and therefore I would have lost most of the data from this unemployment data spreadsheet. And for that reason, I opted instead to use the key field from the unemployment data, because that allowed me to retain all of my data. And having established that, I'll now go on to the next steps in our process. I'll start by applying some shading to the countries to reflect their respective unemployment rates. And to do that, I'm going to right-click on Query Table, open up Properties. Within Properties, select the Symbology tab, which happens to have already been selected. Then I'm going to go into Quantities, and I want to use Graduated Colors. So select that. The field that I'd like to map here is going to be the total unemployment rate for adults. So here we go, adult unemployment. No, that's not it. Adult unemployment rate. Here we go. Now I want to go with a single color ramp, but there are a lot of options, including some that are multi-hued, but I want to go with a single color, and in fact I kind of like the one that's already there, so I'm just going to run with that. And I'm pretty happy with the breakdowns here between the different ranges of unemployment rates, so I'm going to stick with those as well. And so at this point, it only remains to click OK. And so now our countries are shaded in, and to get a little bit of a better look at them, we can zoom in. So I'll just go over here to the upper left to my zoom in tool, and I will outline the countries of interest and get a better look at them. Now, if you find yourself wondering what these different shades represent, it's worth noting that in the table of contents, ArcMap indicates exactly what shades correspond to which ranges of inflation. Now I'm going to go and assign some labels to the various countries that we've got data for. So once again, I'm going to go to Query Table here. I'm going to right-click, go into Properties. This time, instead of Symbology, I'm going to the Labels tab. And once this comes up, the first thing I'm going to do is check this box for label features in this layer. And the specific thing I want to label is not object ID. What I want to label is country. And there are various ways you can customize this. So let's just say we want to make this a little bit larger, say a 9 instead of an 8. And just for kicks, may not be particularly functional, but let's just go with a Bauhaus 93 font and take a look at, see how that looks. So it may take a few seconds for ArcMap to assign these labels, but they should come up shortly. There we go. Our various countries labeled in Bauhaus 93 9-point font. All right, one more little bit of customization I'd like to do. I don't find this green color that's being used for the non-European data countries particularly attractive, so let's say I want to change that. You'll see this corresponds to this green box over here. So I'm going to click on that, and the symbol selector comes up. Well, let's say I just want all the countries for which I don't have data to just basically fade into the background. Well, I'm going to then click this box that says hollow, and click that, and you see they just kind of fade into the background. The borders are still there, but they have no coloration at all. And if I click it again, I can play around with, say, the outline colors and thicknesses for the various countries. So right now it's at 0.40. Let's say I want to beef that up to, let's say 2, and I want it to be in, I don't know, this attractive shade of green, fur green. I'll click that and hit OK. Now, in honesty, that's a bit much. I don't think that really serves our purposes. So I am just going to put things back the way they were. Okay, much better. All right, well that summarizes our construction of the actual model. We'll now be going on to the generation of the animation, and that'll be in the next segment. So hope to see you then.